Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to Ol'SargeCollects. My name is Dan, and it's Military Card Monday, which means that I'm going to be sharing cards from my collection that have a military theme. Now, today I'm going to be talking about the 1888 Kinney Tobacco Military Set. This has the designation of N224 in the trading card database. Now, according to the trading card database, this is one of the oldest sets out there. There happens to be another set from 1887 that predates this one, but still, this is like the second oldest set. However, this is the largest set ever produced by a tobacco company. That's right, it's even bigger than the T206 set, if you can imagine. So there are a total of 622 cards in this set. Now, this set covers military uniforms from 24 different countries and some smaller territories. Primarily, it covers the uniforms of the Army and Navy from 1886. However, it does go into some historical uniforms as well. So, for example, for the U.S., it has some Revolutionary War uniforms. There's some other uniforms from various countries like ancient Rome, things like that. Just for the United States, with this being an American tobacco company, just for the United States, there are 330 different cards representing military uniforms in the United States. That's crazy. That's a huge number, and it's almost half of the set is just the United States. But that also covers, like I said before, Army and Navy, but it also covers militias. So essentially, it covers like the National Guard of today. Okay, so the different countries that it covers, those include America, Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Denmark, England, France, Germany, Great Britain, Greece, Holland, Italy, Jamaica, Japan, Norway, Poland, Prussia, Russia, Scotland, Serbia, Sweden, Switzerland, and Turkey, to name a few. Like I said, there's smaller territories out there as well. So let's go ahead and jump into the cards that I'm going to share with you. The first card, and I'm going to explain why I picked these cards in particular, why I picked them up. So the first card is of the United States Army Chaplain, designated down there with USA. Now, it'll say USN for Navy or USA for United States Army. This is the uniform a chaplain would have worn in 1886. And the reason why I picked this card up is because when I first joined the Army, I joined the Chaplain Corps. And I was in the Chaplain Corps from the rank of private to sergeant. And so that's why I can have a personal tie to this card. So the backs are all the same, and the verbiage is: this is the most complete and correct collection of all military and naval uniforms throughout the world. Regiments forwarding colored sketches will be included as rapidly as possible. Kinney Tobacco Company, New York, successors of Kinney Brothers. So, you know what that tells me? That tells me that Kinney Tobacco is collaborating with various military regiments and countries and their militaries. And in order to get sketches, accurate and up-to-date sketches of their military uniforms, I think that that's a huge undertaking, and it's very impressive for Kinney Tobacco. Again, these cards are super updated. The uniforms are super updated with these uniforms being as accurate as 1886, and then the set itself came out in 1888. But it also shows that they were producing the set while they were still receiving updates. So that's pretty cool too. Anyway, after I left the Chaplain Corps, I joined the Ordinance Corps of the United States Army. And so that's why I picked up this Ordnance Sergeant, because I was already the rank of sergeant when I joined the Ordnance Corps. This is what I would have been wearing back in the day had I served in 1886. So pretty cool here. Now, going back to the chaplain uniform, I wasn't a chaplain. I was a chaplain assistant, and so I wouldn't have worn this uniform. I would have worn that of a soldier, an enlisted soldier. So probably something more similar to that ordnance uniform. Now, here is a Texas militia uniform. I'm originally from the Houston area, and I actually served in the Texas Army National Guard for a while. So I was in the 36th Infantry Division. So I picked this card up. This is the only Texas militia card in the set. And this is the Houston Light Guard Texas Militia. Pretty cool uniform. I suppose that's probably what I would have worn. Whether or not I would have had a saber, I don't know. I would have loved to have had a saber, though. That's pretty cool. Now, I currently live in New Orleans, and so I wanted to pick up this Louisiana Rifles New Orleans Militia card just because it's where I currently live. For those of you who aren't familiar with the New Orleans area, there's a really old National Guard base called Jackson Barracks down here in New Orleans. And Jackson Barracks dates to the late 1800s. So I can only imagine this soldier right here standing guard outside of Jackson Barracks wearing this uniform back in the late 1800s. Just a cool thought that there's currently a base that dates back to when this card was produced. So really neat. Anyway, some other cards that I have from the set are just a couple of extra ordnance soldiers. So I've got a ordnance private and a corporal of ordnance here that kind of rounded out that ordnance collection. And then I have one more card. Now, you see that all 5 of these cards that I have here have kind of a white background. Well, not every card in the set has a white background. It just so happens that all the cards I picked up have white backgrounds. But there are cards in the set that have colored backgrounds. Cards that have different designs for their backgrounds. And here's a perfect example of one of those. So I have this Bavarian Infantry card here. This card was gifted to me by PeterB, good friend of mine, Peter, who's on YouTube, and I'll put a link to his channel down in the description. If you haven't subscribed to Peter, please do so. He shows a lot of excellent tobacco cards and various different cards. So I really love his channel. Anyway, he was kind enough to gift this card to me, and I've added it to my set. And the reason why he gifted this card is because I lived in Bavaria. I was stationed there with the United States Army, and I served almost on a daily basis with the German Army down there. And so, I can relate to this card because this is a Bavarian Infantry card. Quite cool, but it also shows an example of the different various backgrounds that are used in this set. So this one's got some gold foil to it, along with some red, and just some interesting designs in the set. They don't all have this background, the ones that have color. They have different designs and stuff. So just a nice example of what a card with a different background may have. Same back on the card as all the others, just the background here is different. So anyway, that is those are the cards I have from the 1888 Kinney Tobacco military set. Again, the N224 set, one of the largest, I think the largest tobacco set ever made. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this Military Card Monday, and I want you to keep hunting the good stuff. And until next time, take care.